Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the concept of Java arrays. What is an Java array and why arrays are required? How do you create the object in arrays in Java? How do we create an object for arrays in Java? How many types of arrays are there? What is the necessity of arrays? We will try to discuss everything in detail about the concept of arrays. Okay. First, first of all, before I start arrays concept, I wanted to talk about what is the necessity of array. When I say a necessity of array, because when I talk about any concept, first we should know what is the necessity of using that particular concept in the coding. Okay, let us consider, for example, I'll take just an example. I'll take, for example, if I write integer as a variable, if I want integer two variables and using primitive data types is fine for me. I'll write integer a comma b. This is fine for me. Okay. Now my requirement has changed now. The requirement is I want integer variables of how many integer variables I required? I required 1000 integer variables. These many integer variables are required. Now the point comes, can I go for different names for each and every variables like a1, a2, a up to a1000? We can't do that because name conflict will come. The second point about normal primitive data types is, when I'm talking about a1000, each and every variable which we have declared as a1, a2, a3, a4 will take different memory location. Like, let us consider, sir, first for a and b which you have created, for a it takes some memory location, 4 bytes of memory, as all of you know that 4 bytes of memory will be allocated for a variable. For a variable it takes, let us consider for example the memory address which has taken is 500. For b it takes a memory address called as 600. So but if I'm comparing with the memory, both memories are in two different locations. Yes or no? So that's the reason when I say about 1000 variables, if I take different names, all the memories are created in different location in the RAM, which is not a good coding. When I found that I want 100 variable, 1000 variables, I want 1000 variables of integer data type, what I do is I want a continuous memory location, because I want to store every variable, similar data type elements, variables into one location, so that I can perform different operations on it, like searching, sorting, any kind of operation which we can perform on this kind of data types. Fine. So that is a necessity of working with arrays concepts. I hope you understood. If I'm working with the normal primitive data types, it goes with different locations. I don't want different location. Then I always go for the concept of what? Arrays. On the concept of arrays, let us try to work on these things. On the concept of arrays, if I'm talking about arrays, so what would be the definition for arrays? If I'm talking about arrays, the first definition goes, arrays holds similar data type elements. Array holds similar data types elements. It's a collection of similar data type elements. Yes or no? It's a collection of similar data type elements. Is called as what? Array. Then where we store, which is having a continuous memory location. That is very important. Each and every arrays concept, whatever we are talking, all the elements will be stored onto a continuous memory locations. Okay, this is the point. Array holds similar data type elements which is having continuous memory location. When I'm talking about a normal primitive data type, I said you it will not take continuous memory location. It takes different locations, which I don't want in the coding. I want continuous memory location so that I can do many operations on it. Okay, array is an object in Java. Array is an object in Java which can store similar data type elements. Fine. Array is object in Java. You know, when I talk about an object, how objects are created in Java, it is created by using a keyword called as new. Okay. Now, the next point goes with arrays are always index based. Arrays are index based. Index based means what? Each and every element, let us say the first element of an array, the first element of an array, stored in zeroth position. First element of array is stored in zeroth position. At the same time, the last element of an array, stored in n minus 1th location. Yes or no? Size minus 1 or n minus 1 location. This is what the point is. So what a reference variable holds in an array? Reference variable always holds the object address. Okay, fine. Coming to the point, I don't want to mess much onto this. It is the concept of arrays. The concept of arrays is very simple. I want continuous memory location holding similar data type elements. That is, we call it as arrays concept. Okay. Let us try to take a diagrammatical representation for arrays. If I take size as 5, for a size 5, size I am taking it as 5. For the size 5, what are the how the memory will be created? Let us check it out. This is first element, this is second element, this is third element to be stored, and this is the fourth element to be stored. Okay, as I said, array index position always starts with 0, so I'll go with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We'll do many operations on these arrays concept later on. Okay, the first element of an array starts with 0th index position, second element starts with first index position, third, fourth, fifth. Sir, if I'm talking about the memory, fine, you said continuous memory location. How memory takes? This is 500. The first element is created in 504 location, next is 508, then 512 and 516. This is what I call it as a continuous memory locations. Coming to the normal concept of primitive data types, if I declare a variable called as integer a, integer b, integer c, then all the three variables are taking different memory locations, and accessing the variables becomes very difficult for the computer. Point is, if I'm accessing from the different locations, the transaction speed which we are doing, whatever the performance which we are expecting for the application, will not give that much performance. So if it is there in a single location, right? So by referring to the reference variable, like a of 0 will talk about 500 location, a of 1 talks about 504 location, a of 2 talks about 508 location, a of 3 talks about 512 location. So directly I can access any variable from this particular reference variable. And one more advantage with working with arrays is we have only one reference variable name. With one reference variable, I can pointing to all the five integer variables in the point. Okay. Now, coming to the types of Java, types of arrays in Java. How many types of arrays are there in Java? Types of arrays in Java. Java supports, the first one is, it supports single dimensional array. Single dimensional array. Second one is multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array. Sir, inside a multi-dimensional array, even if I don't go for it as a type, okay, even if I don't go it as a type, I can say that even jagged array is also called as multi-dimensional array. Jagged array. We'll discuss in detail about what is single dimensional array, what is multi-dimensional array, and what is jagged array. And what is the syntax for creating an array in Java? How should I create an array in Java? You said array is an object in Java. When I say array is an object in Java, this point I'm highlighting. When I say array is an object in Java, objects are created on heap area always. You know how the objects are created? Objects are created by using a new keyword. Yes or no? So if I'm talking about the syntax of creating an array in Java is data type, reference variable name, with indices. How many indices position you want to create? Single dimensional, multi-dimensional, jagged array. So I'm creating an variable, I'm creating an array for single dimensional array, then you should take one subscript. Single dimensional array takes one subscript with a keyword called as a new data type. On data type, I should provide the size. How many indices positions you want to create? How many positions you wanted to create? That is what we talk about. This is the syntax for creating an array in Java. This is the syntax for working with single dimensional array. Single dimensional array means we have only one subscript. which has only one subscript is called as single dimensional array. And this is a syntax for creating an array in Java, because array is object in Java and objects are created by using a new keyword, and all objects are created in heap area. Okay, let us try to do coding on this, and let us check it out how we can do how we can work with the concept of arrays. We'll try to see in detail now. Okay, so let us try to open a notepad. On a notepad, let me try to write my code. Okay, hope you all are aware with writing with these things. I'll just write public static void main string args, public static void main string args. I'm just entering into coding because I don't want to spend much of my time on the theoretical part. Directly, let me write integer a is equals to new int of 5. Okay, this, I hope this is what the syntax which I discussed when I'm talking about the theory part. I said, what is the syntax? I said data type. Which data type you wanted to create? Reference variable name, right? Reference variable name with subscript with new data type and size. On the same syntax, I have written this integer a is equal to new int of 5. That means how much positions I have created? I have created 5 locations. Fine. Now I'll write, let us try to know what a holds. I'll write system.out.println of a. I said a always holds the object address. By using new keyword, whenever I have created an object, it always holds the object address. A always holds the object address. So let us try to know the contents of the object now. Okay, a of 0. When I say a of 0, there should be some by default value for the 0th index position that I wanted to print. And the second point is I want to know the length of the array dynamically. Might be have given size as 5. Definitely I can say that directly we know that it is size is 5. But let us consider I have not given the static input. I have given a dynamic input. Then how should I find the length of array? We have a property called as array provides a property called as a dot length. This property is used to print the length of array dynamically. So that by using a dot length method, it reads the entire size. And the size will be printed on the console. Okay, this is the program for working with single dimensional array. I have just created an array. First, I am printing a reference variable, right? So let us try to work on this. Sir, how, whenever I'm talking about this particular syntax, how it is created an object in a memory? I'll write integer a is equals to new int of 5. When I'm doing this, okay, how does the memory is created? An object is created in heap area. Fine. With how many indices positions? 5 indices positions. Reference variable will be a now. A is the reference variable and it is pointing to object address which is having 5 indices positions. Let us try to take those 5 indices positions. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the by default values which is given by a compiler, if I'm not providing any value, it takes 0, 0, right? And 0, 0, 0. And this one also takes 0. And this is 0. And this is also 0. Fine. Now, when I say an address, each and every object will have some address. This is an object created for which data type? Integer data type. Fine. Now, A holds OXF1. Now, how the indices position will be? It is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the indices positions. A of 0 talks about first element. A of 1 talks about the second element. A of 0 talks about first element, A of 1 talks about second element, A of 3 talks about 2 talks about second element, A of 3 talks about fourth element, A of 4 talks about the last element of an array. And this is how it creates a memory inside the RAM. This is created in which area? Heap area, because arrays are object in Java and objects are created in Java by using a new keyword. And the reference variable A is which holds in stack area. Stack area is always holds the object address, and these are the by default values of the array which I have created. Okay, let us try to execute this code so that we'll try to understand how does it is executing. Okay, on desktop, let me try to save it as array demo1.java. Let me say the code as array demo1.java. Let us try to go to command prompt. On the command prompt, go to desktop, then type java c demo1.java. Okay, so let us try to have a command java c array demo1.java. As you all of you know that how it is compiled. Fine, it is compiled fine now with Java with initial class name as A. So you just check it out the error output of the program. If I concentrate on the output of the code, it is showing one subscript indicating what? Indicating what? See, I'll show you parallelly the code and the output also so that it will be clear for you. I'm showing both the things. Okay. Sir, first time when I have written integer a is equal to new int of 5, an object is created for a variable. Now a variable, if I see the diagram, for a variable object is created, object address is this. So when I'm printing a, see in the first statement is system.out.println of a. How does it is printing? It is printing single subscript indicating that we have created a single dimensional array. So single subscript indicates we have created and single dimensional array. I indicates which type of array I have created. I have created an integer array so that it says single subscript I at this address. What address? The address which I have mentioned. A is holding this address. Fine. So first time what it shows single subscript stating that what? Whenever I'm printing A, it is saying I am holding an address for integer single dimensional array. That's the reason single subscript has printed I at this address. Fine. Now, what is the by default value? A of 0 talks about the by default value is 0. A of 0 is 0, right? What is the length we have given? The length is 5. I didn't do anything. I don't do anything code for this. I didn't use count variable so that how many times it is repeated and all. It is the implicit property of an arrays concept where we have a method called as, we have a property called as a dot length property, which always reads the length of array dynamically. We no need to do anything. In Java, to find the length of array, we no need to do any code. We have a inbuilt property called as length property. Use a dot length so that it prints the length of array as 5. Okay. Hope you're not having any doubts in the concept which I have discussed. We have opened a discussion by taking an primitive data type. What are the drawbacks with the primitive data type? Then I moved on to the next concept called as arrays. What is the necessity of arrays? Then I showed you the syntax of creating an array, how the arrays are created, right? Then I have written an application on it. Sir, how to store the values and how to read the values, how the operations can be done on this. So we have created an array. How should I store the values onto each and every indices position, and how to print the entire elements which is stored onto from the array? Everything we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you.